Hey y'all, welcome to the first video of the new year. I am so happy to be going into 2025 with all of you, so let's talk staying motivated.
Sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't. Sometimes you win some.
If you are newly joining me with the new year, hello, my name is Amber. I'm a holistic lifestyle coach and my goal is to empower you to thrive. So with the new year, a lot of us set goals, we work on our vision boards, and we kind of plan out what we would like to achieve and what we would like our life to look like in the upcoming year. All of that is fantastic, all of that is wonderful, and I'm sure we've all done some version of it before. But then the sneaky part comes in, which is how to actually stay motivated to continue working toward your goals and to actually achieve your goals. So that's what we're gonna be covering in this video. I don't want all of that planning and that vision boarding to go to waste. I really want you to learn how to harness it all and use that power to help you have the most successful year of your life. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is connect your goals and your motivation to your why. If you do not know why you're doing something, if you do not have a purpose that is actually helping you in your life, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to actually stay on track and work toward your goals, because what's the purpose of me doing this? What is it going to help me achieve in my life? How is it actually going to impact me? So I want you to go back, look at those goals that you set for 2025 and ask yourself this question. How are each of these goals going to help and support me in my life? Are they going to make me happier? How are they going to improve my health or my wealth? And then also consider your life overall. How does this goal actually connect to your purpose? When you're thinking about who you want to become, that best version of yourself, the elevated version of yourself, your higher self, how are the goals that you are setting right now going to actually help you in your future to actually and genuinely become the person that you have always dreamed of being? So that way, when your motivation starts to go away a little bit, it starts to wane, you are always going to have something to come back to and reconnect to your purpose, reconnect to your why, and that is going to help you to keep going, because motivation is that first step. Yes, it's so important to actually be motivated to do things, but when that goes away, discipline is all you have left. And so it's really important to make sure that you are nurturing your relationship with your goals as you're identifying why they're going to help you become the person that you have always wanted to be. The second thing that you're going to want to do is to break down your goals. Big goals can be very, very overwhelming. And if you're overwhelmed, you're not going to be motivated and you're definitely not going to be disciplined. Don't view your goal as one big thing to achieve. Break it down into more manageable steps. The way that makes it easier for me to do this is using the 12-week year system. I do have an entire playlist on the simplified 12-week year, which is basically an easier way to approach goal setting, even 12-week year goal setting, to make it something that's attainable and sustainable for you. So I'll link that above for you all to check out. But even if you are not doing a 12-week year or some type of structured way to break down your goals, you can make things more manageable for you by simply chunking them into steps. So say, for example, you are someone who says, okay, I want to work out 5 days a week in the new year. Okay, how can you break that down and how can you make that more manageable? Maybe don't start with 1 hour workouts every single weekday. Maybe you can say, okay, I'm gonna make sure I have a weekday where I have a rest day embedded, and then also a weekend day where I have a rest day embedded, and I can start with just 15 minutes. You can do anything for 15 minutes. So maybe a 15-minute walk, maybe a 15-minute mat Pilates class. If you're someone who likes to do things like Peloton or spin class, start with a 15-minute class and then you can work your way up. Don't feel forced to have to jump right in fully, deeply into everything, because if you're going from working out 0 days a week or 1 day a week, and maybe for like 30 minutes, and then you're trying to go up to 5 days a week, working out an hour every single time, it's gonna be a big shock for you, and it's gonna be a lot harder for you to keep up with, because you have now jumped from very, very basic workouts or a very, very basic workout schedule to an intense or more extreme workout schedule, and you did not prepare your mind or your body for those things. But by gradually easing into it, it'll make it a lot simpler for you. So whether that's reducing the amount of time you work out or the amount of days you work out, and then increasing as you get used to that schedule, that's going to help you really get into a good track of, this is a routine of things that I do. And once you notice like, hey, I've been able to actually work out 3 days, I've been able to work out 5 days now, let me make them longer. That is going to help you to stay motivated, because you're actually seeing the results and seeing how it feels to actually achieve the goal that you've worked toward. Tip number 3 is probably my favorite, which is to celebrate your wins along the way. Please do not wait until the very end of the year to look back on your milestones and appreciate all the achievements that you've accomplished. Do it in the moment. It's going to be another push for you to actually stay motivated and to keep going. Once you see like, hey, I can achieve this thing. Here's what I did. I worked out a routine. I set a schedule for myself and I stayed disciplined and continued working toward that goal. And now I've reached it. I've got the end result. Celebrate yourself then before you think, okay, what's next? Stop for that celebration. And with this, I would definitely encourage you to treat yourself to something small during those celebrations. It could be a little bit of extra self-care one night, or maybe taking yourself out to your favorite restaurant, or spending time with friends that also make you feel supported and motivated. Whatever is something for you, it's like, hey, this is a treat for how hard I've worked. Try to implement that into a regular basis when you reflect on what your goals were. Track your progress, look at your milestones, and celebrate yourself along the way. Tip number 4 is to surround yourself with positivity. I cannot stress enough how much your environment is impacting your positivity, your happiness, your health, and everything else in between. If you are not in a place that makes you feel comfortable and makes you feel motivated and supported in your goals, it's going to be so much harder for you to reach them. So when we're talking about the actual physical environment, first take a step back and just simply work on organizing. Go through, get rid of all the things that are no longer serving you, clothes you don't need, old towels, food in your pantry that's just been there for such a long time, that drawer that's full of who knows what, business cards and different things that have been stuck on your door through the past year. Go through all of that, declutter your life, and get organized. Once you are organized, you're creating a foundation for yourself to be able to be set up for success, because you're going to know where everything is and you're going to be able to actually thrive in the organized environment you have created for yourself. Now, when we're thinking about physical environment, another thing that's important with that are the people who you are choosing to spend a lot of your time with. So of course, I know in certain situations, it's a lot more difficult to remove yourself from those situations or to distance yourself in those relationships. However, you have to think about the actual purpose. What is my goal and how is this lending itself to who I want to be in the future? If there's a person in your life who is continually being very discouraging to you, they're not helping you or supporting you toward your goals, or they're basically just saying you cannot achieve this, you do not deserve this, that is not someone who you should be allowing in your life. So you have to have those boundaries in place to be able to protect yourself, protect your peace, and protect your journey to becoming the best version of you. So once you've gone through the elimination process, getting rid of things and people who are not supporting you on your growth journey, now it's time to re-implement and replenish with things that are making you healthier and happier. So even with things like entertainment, if you stopped watching things that were full of negativity or things that were making you feel like you're comparing yourself on a regular basis, what are you going to replace that with? Find some positive content to be able to engage in and really allow that to be something that fuels your life. I love to start my day listening to a podcast, or if I'm going for a walk, I'll listen to a podcast or an encouraging YouTube video, and everything on my Instagram feed is something that is motivational. I noticed I recently got my real estate license, and so a lot of people started adding me on Facebook. It's very common in the real estate world to just be connected with different people, lenders, credit people, all that kind of stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to connect to every single one of these people. Instead of just saying confirm, I went through the list and I said, okay, is this person someone who is positive? What are they posting about? And is it going to help me achieve my goals and add value to my life? If they're just there being someone who is negative, complaining about the industry and things like that, I don't need that. It's not going to motivate me to continue going and to continue working toward my goals. So you just have to sometimes take a step back and think for a moment about the content that you're absorbing, whether directly or indirectly, and make the changes as needed so that there's nothing that is going to be demotivating you. And tip number 5 is to create a routine. Motivation thrives on consistency. So you need a structure and a routine that supports your goals, that supports what you're working towards, and that supports who you are trying to become. So whether that's something like having a really great morning ritual that's supporting your goals for the day and setting you up for success, or having a system where at the end of the week, maybe during your Sunday reset, where you're doing a reflective moment, taking some time to journal to see how your week went, what worked for you, how you felt the most successful, and how you felt your absolute best. Whatever that is, really embed those routines into your life. Routines breed structure, and structure breeds continual motivation and discipline, because now you've made it very easy for yourself. You know what comes next, you know what you have to do, there are no surprises, and you're actually able to continue pushing forward to what you are trying to achieve. And tip number 6, which is the last thing that I'll be sharing for today, is to prioritize your rest while you are trying to stay motivated. If you're exhausted, if you are burned out, you are not going to be able to achieve your goals. So it's important to make rest a non-negotiable part of this journey. And that can include a lot of different things. Sometimes you just have to say no. It can be really difficult to feel like, oh, I'm not being there for people, I'm not able to support them, but you can't run on an empty tank. So if you are at a point in your life where you're like, I have been too many places with too many people, I am drained, take a step back, recharge your social battery, do things that you want to do so that you can continue to feel 100%. And I know you hear it a lot, but truly listen to your body. Just because you need to rest from time to time, that does not mean that you're being lazy or that you don't really care about your goals or that you're not trying to stay motivated. But your body may be saying, hey, at this point, I need rest that I can recharge and continue pushing toward that goal. So let's say, again, we go back to the example of working out 5 days a week. Let's say you put that rest day right there in the middle of the week and you're like, oh man, I rested on Wednesday, but Friday you wake up and you're just not feeling your best. Go ahead and take a second rest day. You can get back into it on Saturday and you probably will feel a lot more energized and motivated to get back into it if you actually took that break when your body told you that it needed it. It doesn't mean that you are not actually trying to achieve your goals. It doesn't mean that you're not focused and that one day of rest is just going to derail all of your progress. Take the rest that you need. Listen to your body. Pour back into yourself mentally and physically. Your body will thank you and your goals will thank you as well. So the biggest thing that I want you all to remember is that staying motivated is not about being perfect all the time. It's about staying consistent and it's about staying committed. So think back to your why. What is the purpose? Why did you set this goal for yourself? How is it going to positively impact your life? And how is it going to help you become your higher self or that best version of you or live that dream life that you've always wanted? I really hope that the tips that I shared in this video help you to be inspired to thrive, motivated to thrive, and motivated to really lean into what you deserve in life. Definitely comment below if there was a specific tip that resonated with you or if you have other tips that you're trying out this year to stay motivated. Let the girls know in the comment section below as well. Thank you all so much for watching this video and I will see you all in the next one. I'm really excited for all the things we're going to be covering in January as we prepare to kickstart our year and make 2025 the year that you thrive.